Alright, part 4. Now, this is a video about how I think the drought and wildfires in Georgia were caused and manipulated by geoengineering, which now I'm in part 4 showing the evidence I had of that in the skies. Yeah, I think Colonel Mustard did it over the open sky with scalar waves in the candlestick. Let's see, let's move on to 3960. 3960. Okay. Now here.
Hold on, busy. Okay, our first slide. April the 18th. Alright, we got 12:19 p.m. Okay, here in Arkansas, we've got rain. And let's look at the pressure. Oh, I'm going to put my mark here. Okay. Okay, here's the mark. Okay, in the same area of rain, we've got high pressure. That's kind of strange. And over here, let's get a percent. We've got rain over here. And let's see what the pressure is. Average pressure.
Water vapor maps.
We got high pressure and rain over here. Now, let's get over here. We're in this drought-ridden area of Georgia, okay? Still got high pressure. Now, let's look at the satellite. Because I predicted it's supposed to rain, I believe, tonight. They'll be out spraying. And what do I wake up and see on the satellite? Look at this. And look at... Okay, let's go back. This is at 12. Let's go to 11 a.m. Let's go back. Hold on, I want to show you what I saw. Second. Look at this. 9 a.m. This is over in Alabama. Look at those lines. Huh? They ain't clouds. They're gonna prevent the rainfall. Look at this. All this, 9 a.m. 10.
Oh yeah, I was gonna show the weatherman too. Hold on.
Look at that. 11 a.m.
Yeah, look at all that.
See, you can see. Look at that. Look at that crap.
That rain
gonna prevent this rainfall.
And that rainfall from Arkansas never came this way.
These are real clouds over here. See, in here, real clouds. And they're gonna prevent this rainfall. Let's look, well, we got right here. Now, there should be no clouds. Because, again, let's look at the pressure. High pressure. There shouldn't be any clouds, just like yesterday. But there's rain on the way, so they've got to install a high. Let's see, we've got humidity at 61%. It was a lot more than that earlier, but I don't know, that's 8 a.m.
The way the weatherman is.
And we've got our dew point.
Let's go on over here and oh, that was 3960. Okay, let's I want to play this weatherman. Okay, let's see. Right here. This was before we got any rain, like a week ago.
We're looking at crystal clear skies on the outside. Nice weather up here in Blue Ridge, where we started out with temperatures down into the 30s. This morning is now starting to mild up a little bit. People are out and about, probably going to get some lunch or just hanging out in the sun, right? Soaking up that vitamin D. You deserve it. Go ahead and have it. And looking from the radar perspective, it's nice and clear. Got a few clouds now starting to push our way, coming into parts of Alabama. Some of those will make their way over toward us. I do think we'll see some high, thin clouds first, and then we'll get into some thicker clouds rolling in as we head toward the evening.
Oh, by the way, that's their new way of describing chemtrails. They call them high, thin clouds. One day he even predicted the time they were going to be rolling in with the planes. He goes, oh, we'll get some high, thin clouds around 5 o'clock. And then that's when I saw them laying the chemtrails out.
Temperatures are in the 60s for the most part. Got some 70s down here to the south. 73 degrees the Grange, 72 in Thomaston, 58 the cool spot up there in Clayton. watch those temperatures rise close to 80 degrees for this afternoon. Watching the rainfall back off to the west, but that's all we can do is just watch it because it's not coming over here.
Ah, wonder why. It's not coming over here. See, all these storms, especially in the springtime, always make their way over here.
High pressure dominating our skies and keeping that rain at bay.
High pressure.
You see a stationary boundary that's just about overhead. This will fade away. It'll get out of the way as we watch those temperatures begin to rise up, especially as we head through the rest of the week. Our rainfall has been very minimal for the month of April. So far, only about, just over 1/10 of an inch, and we had that on one day, and that was Easter Sunday. 30% chance coming to us by the end of the week, and Saturday, thanks to a front that's going to make its way through the area. That front will try to bring in about a 20 to 30% chance for some showers. Would also help to wipe some of this pollen out. Another high count again today. That makes 18 straight days where we had these high numbers, and that will continue, I think, for the rest of the week.
Okay, let's listen to what he says, though. I'll tell you in a minute about these cumulus clouds. Hang on.
It will stay dry. Forecast track model shows that clouds continue to enter in, especially around 6, 7 o'clock. It'll stay with us overnight into tomorrow morning. We'll start you off with partly sunny skies, mostly sunny skies. Once we get to the late afternoon, and once we get into the heating, we'll see these cumulus clouds begin to bubble up. Now, we're going to repeat that process over the next couple of days. So by Thursday, we start you off with the sun. Once we get into the daytime heating, you notice these cumulus clouds popping up. Notice the green the model is trying to spit out here. I don't think that's going to be possible for us. Maybe down into the central and southern.
Okay, what he's saying is, what the model's showing is that with the as you know, if you go back and watch that video from part 2 or 3, where I was showing this guy, the cumulus clouds rise, and as they cool, then they form rain. And the radar, these green spots are showing where the heating of the day and the conditions should cause pop-up rain showers, right? Which didn't happen. And he says it's probably not going to happen, because he already knows, see? But he's got a gag order. But what they do is, they spray above the clouds, zap it with whatever, microwaves, so that though the cumulus clouds cannot rise, can no longer rise, and therefore they don't cool and there's no rain. But it's interesting, why would the radar, these radars are pretty accurate, come on, they've had years to work on. The radar knows this is rain we should probably have.
Portions of the state, I don't think we will see any rain around here. Just too dry here at the surface for that. And maybe we can start it once again as we head into Friday.
Why is it
off with
dry?
mostly sunny skies, and then those cumulus clouds will start to bubble in once we get into the daytime heating. Speaking of heating, we're going to heat up. 83 for your high temperature on Wednesday. By Thursday, Friday, we're looking at temperatures in the mid-80s. Even the overnight lows will start to warm up, so you can forego that sweater or that track jacket I've been telling you to wear the last couple of days. Rain comes in, or at least a chance for it comes in as we head into the weekend. 20 to 30% chance through Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday will stay unsettled with 79 degrees for your high.
Really strange weather. Okay, let's say the least. Okay, let's go to, what would it do that was? Is that a 3? Oh God, 3956. God, I can't read my writing. Sorry, 3956. 395. Right here. So what this one is. Lines before the rain. Once again, okay.
Real quick. April 13th. Okay, it's 10 a.m. 11 a.m. 12 p.m. 12 p.m.
See all those lines?
12 p.m. There's the lines. Right there. 1. Okay.
What was that? I'm not sure. April 13th lines. 3950. 39, okay. Next. This is April 8th.
April the 8th at 8:20 a.m.
Look at all that. Look at those
Look
lines.
at that over in South Carolina.
Look at that.
8:20 a.m. This is 9:20
Look at that.
a.m. 10:20, 11, 12. Now let's go to April 9th. Okay, this isn't night. April 9th, 6:20, 8:28 down this way. Look, South Carolina, North Carolina, 8:20 a.m. Look at that. 9:20. 11:20.
Bet we didn't get any rain after that.
And where does that go? Down to the ground.
Okay, 3949. That's what we got here on the 8th.
The last
Still on April
say
8th.
no kidding.
5
That takes us
p.m.
back to the
Look at this
beginning of
line.
this country because we rejected a sovereign, one individual sovereign controlling the affairs of the
This is
nation.
unconstitutional too.
And so as someone who has served this country
I'm watching
for 16 years
the
in the House
great
of
Dennis
Representatives
Senate.
and has sued
Talk about-
3 individual presidents.
Okay. 3948. Humid with dew points.
Okay, here we are. We're still at April 8th. And now, at the 1:30 mark, the dew point is saying 38 degrees, very dry. And relative humidity is only 39%. And we look that up, what do we see? The dew point is the temperature at which the air becomes saturated with water vapor, leading to condensation. In your case, a dew point of 38 degrees indicates that the air is relatively cool and moist, which can lead to dew formation. The relative humidity of 39% means the air is slightly dry, as the water vapor content is less than 100% of the maximum possible amount. This suggests the air is not fully saturated and still humid enough to cause... Okay, but look, dew point 38 indicates the air is slightly cool and moist. And what do we see over here on the radar? It's saying that the dew point is very dry. That's why we have a fire warning, because the air is so dry. You know, let's see, what do we have here? We got cloudy on this side. Oh, by the way, those aren't clouds. Let's look at the satellite. Let's go back to... I can
tell you right now, those aren't clouds.
Those aren't clouds. This is what they did. They did a spray operation to once again prevent the rainfall. Okay, that was at 9 a.m. Okay, to make these fake thin clouds, because what do we have in high pressure? Oh, let's go to that pressure map. The pressure is high. In high pressure, we don't have clouds.
Especially not cirrus.
Off.
And there was a weatherman one day, I think it was this week or the week before or whatever, he was like, oh, and look at that dew point, you know. Probably giving out hints or something. Oh, this is 3944. Okay. Just a few more here I've collected. This is a good record.
Here we are, April 8th. Oh, look at satellite. Look at 9 a.m.
April 8th.
You see that X there? This is ridiculous. 8, 9, 10. Well, let's go back to 9. Look at those straight lines. 10 a.m. And we're at 11:22 right now. 11 a.m. frame.
Yeah. Oops. Okay, 3944. All right. Now let's see. Oh no, that's okay. Did I get to? Let's see what we got here. Yeah. See, okay. There's an X right there. You can see on the satellite. Look at that. All right. So that's the So this is all the evidence that I collected. Let's make sure I got everything. That I collected. To show that, yeah, okay, here's evidence that they've been out spraying all of this stuff in the sky, and they're doing that for and off the coast in the Atlantic, and they're doing that for. And then here's the meteorologist. He's showing you the same kind of stuff here that we've seen. You know, the same stuff.
Now let's take a brief look at the 3 Worldview satellites on November the 25th. This is usually in the middle of the day between 12 and 1 o'clock Eastern Time. First is the Terra satellite, then followed by the Aqua satellite, and then lastly the Sumi satellite. Clicking in reverse, we verify that the atmosphere over the Gulf of Mexico is infected with artificial clouds from the chemistry added to the contrail emissions. This scene is somewhat typical for the 36 hours in advance of an approaching front. However, this operation is more aggressive than usual. Next, we take a look at the GO-16 satellite.
Did you see what he said? Of an approaching front.
As it advances from darkness into sunrise on November the 26th to reveal man-made cloud layers. Notice as the cursor circles the thick lines of parallel emissions east of Tampa Bay and the RF frequency heterodyning of magnetic domains over the Gulf as evidence of metallic particles embedded inside the clouds as they move from west to east at the cirrus level.
Okay. And jet stream, and then they somehow can affect the jet streams, which the guy said out in California it would affect the entire country. You know? Oops. Airing over. Got a few more minutes here because the last video I'm going to do is, I wanted to end here because the last video I'm going to do is, we were at an event and it was in Tennessee. And I mean, those planes were out. I had a booth on this very thing to stop geoengineering with petitions. And by Sunday, they were out spraying the whole sky. And that's in Tennessee, where it's supposed to be banned.
In the video. All levels in the troposphere. The conditions for persistent contrails were essentially zero. The absence of contrails at other latitudes further supports deployment of artificial cirrus clouds. The climate managers decided to keep things above.
Yeah, I saw that one. Let's see. No, I took that one down. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Where is that one? Oh, this one. Okay, for our last 5 minutes here. Whoops. Not sure what this is. Gulf EMF clouds. Okay. See, this is where the moisture from the Gulf, this moisture comes in and causes rain. Like I said, Georgia is a tropical area. Subtropical. Let's go back over here. I'm sorry. Like he said, this one's it.
Election Day, November
2.01.
6, 2018.
See, let's go back over here to 2.01.
Domain.
Hold on.
The 7th from west to east,
Okay.
1,000 feet over the Florida Peninsula. These skies are mostly predictable ahead of an arriving weather front carrying moisture.
Oh, carrying moisture that they don't want. Get it?
Election Day, November 6, 2018. Look at that.
And how are they at producing such a large charge? I'm asking.
Solar power. Solar panels on the satellites themselves, and they have a focus ability to either wide spectrum or targeted spectrum microwave into the cloud systems, or they can narrow the focus and cause a forest fire
To a certain pinpoint location.
Hear
Yeah, like
that?
the ones in California.
Right.
You hear that? You hear that? And then here we go. Wildfires. This is 11 hours ago. We'll have to play it on this other one because Google doesn't have I don't have commercials on that thing, so just give me there.
My local mayor wanted to sue me after he saw what I did with this new pressure washer.
God,
There's
we
a new
don't
power
care.
wash nozzle out there,
Okay,
and
shut up.
Welcome back this morning. Wildfires burning down in South Georgia are part of a much bigger warning sign. Experts say drought and changing conditions are making the eastern part of the U.S. far more vulnerable to these fires in places that historically haven't really dealt with them. Now, a new network of scientists is racing to understand what's changing and how to protect communities before this becomes the new normal. To help us break it all down
Oh,
this
there we
morning, we're
go.
joined
Our
by
new
Dr.
normal.
Erica Smith.
That's a psyop word if I've ever heard one. Yeah.
Wick, the fire scientist.
The new normal. Wear a mask for 2 years. The whole damn virus was a lie. I said that from day frickin' one. Not one day did I wear a mask either. I have a science degree and I proved it was a lie. But you look at my other videos, they're all on this channel.
Sign. Experts say drought and changing conditions are making the eastern part of the U.S. far more vulnerable to these fires in places that historically haven't really dealt with them. Now, a new network of scientists is racing to understand what's changing and how to protect communities before this becomes the new normal. To help us break it all down this morning, we're joined by Dr. Erica Smith-Wick, the fire scientist, professor, and leader of the Eastern Fire Network. We're so glad to have you on, Dr. Smith-Wick. So people hear wildfires, and I think most people probably think over in California, but how different is what we're seeing here play out?
It wasn't normal in California either. If you watched part 2 and 3.
Georgia right now.
That's right. Good morning. Great to be with you. What we usually associate with wildfires are those extreme events out in the West, but what we've started to see is that these kinds of wildfires are creeping up into the East. And what we're trying to do with our network is try to anticipate those changing conditions. Fires can happen for a variety of reasons. You mentioned drought, dry conditions due to a changing climate. incredible amount of fuels, and also ignitions. And the East is very different than the West. We have all of those things in spades. Most of our wildfires here in the East are actually caused initially by human ignitions, although we have lightning fires as well. We have
All right,
an
I'm going to end
increasing
here and
amount
pick
of
up with the
drought
last
conditions,
episode
and that is
on the
causing the fuels to
Tennessee
get drier.